Hello again, chaps and chapettes. How are we all doing? It is lovely to see you all again, as always. Tonight, guys, I spotted a very small article over on Russia Today website. You know, the RT website that, when the Ukraine war broke out, got banished from most of the European Union countries. Well, yeah, I've managed to glean an article from that said website about the Americans and the UK trade deal that's currently trying to be negotiated between the United States and the UK. And in not so many words, the Trump administration is saying, well, more specifically, JD Vance is saying that yes, we're more than happy to have a trade deal with you, no problem. Particularly since post-Brexit that was promised from the previous Trump regime back in 2016, but of course COVID hit and that never got over the line, and of course Biden got back in, and we all know that Biden hated UK's guts because he's somehow a pure Irishman. I mean, God knows how the fuck that happens. But now Trump and JD Vance are putting it on the table, but there is one caveat, well it would appear to this particular article anyway, that we will not do a trade deal with you until you release these constraints that you have on your general public, namely free speech laws, the online safety bill. So, what's been said, we shall have a quick look here. Now again, guys, this is on RT News and it reads as follows. The administration of US President Donald Trump wants the UK government to repeal hate speech laws in order to secure a trade deal between the two nations. The Independent reported on Wednesday, citing claims by sources close to US Vice President JD Vance. In a recent interview, Vance spoke of his admiration for the UK and expressed optimism about the negotiations. Again, I can never understand this, guys. Every single US president or anyone connected to the US government always expresses admiration for the UK. Modern day UK, where is the admiration? I fail to see it. We are not the England or the United Kingdom or the Great Britain or whatever you want to call it that the Americans kicked out during the American Civil War. We are a squeaking little gerbil in comparison in the sight of a massive mountain lion. I know they say in front of the press to sound all nice and approachable, that kind of a thing, but I cannot think of one singular thing that the Americans can have that is admirable towards us. I mean, the mind literally boggles. Washington and London are working very hard on a trade deal within the new US tariff regime, he told the British website Unheard on Tuesday. However, the sources reportedly claim to The Independent that Vice's optimism on the trade deal is a way of putting further pressure on the UK over free speech laws. Now, this is, of course, what I brought to you a couple of days ago, guys, on my second or third video from a few days ago. Anyway, about Ofcom digging in to every nook and cranny of the internet to get information on you, me, our names, our addresses, our past social media posts, our way of thinking. Is it wrong think? Is it right think? Just so they can send round the old bill and arrest you for saying that the Hamas movement is wrong or something equally ridiculous. That's what's being talked about. The Americans can see it, JD Vance can see it, Trump can see it, and most of the rest of the world can see it. I even saw a few days ago, guys, I should have put this in my community tab at the time, someone from Saudi Arabia wrote in Arabic about his dismay about the constraints of our free speech. This is someone in the Middle East. This is someone who's living under Islamic law, and even he was gobsmacked by what is actually going on in this country. I mean, that speaks absolute volumes, doesn't it? If a deal does not go through, it makes Labour look bad, they reportedly said. The UK government has rejected claims that the US has imposed a free speech ultimatum. Of course it has. The subject is not a feature of the talks, a Downing Street source told the newspaper. The UK's hate speech laws have led to a significant number of arrests in 2023. UK police detained over 12,000 people for tweets and Facebook posts. Unbelievable. 12,000 people are serving time somewhere in England behind bars for typing something on social media. That leaves me with an extremely sour taste. approximately 33 per day for online messages deemed offensive or distressing under legislation, according to the Times. Critics among civil liberties group argue that these laws are vague and infringe on free speech. Of course they are vague. I don't even know what they are. Do you know what they are? I have read a couple of pages of a certain document, but I got bored after about the fourth page. It's full of words that seem incoherent to anyone that's, well, able-minded anyway. So yeah, I just gave up after a while. There's about 100 pages of this stuff. So yeah, it is very vague, and it does infringe, obviously, on our free speech. The Americans can see it, and I think they're well within their rights to put that caveat on the table when introducing a new trade deal for us. A country like America, who lives by a constitution, they have their rights written into law. You cannot break them under the constitution. And the First Amendment, is it? I do apologise, I forgot that wrong to my American viewers, but it's written into law. They have their rights protected. We don't. We have something along the lines said, like in the Magna Carta and stuff, but it's not written into law like the Americans have with us. I don't understand how the Americans could want to trade with someone like us who have these totalitarian rules imprinted on their citizens. I just really don't. Anyway, that's that's what I wanted to bring you guys. I may as well incorporate two videos into one. There's no point in making two separate ones. I also want to talk to you before I leave, guys, about what I posted about in my community tab earlier about that poor 4-year-old girl who got sexually assaulted and murdered by a nursery worker simply because she was jealous. Now, this little girl at the time was the daughter of this girl's boyfriend. She got jealous that that he was spending too much time with his daughter, probably not paying enough attention to her. So she got like a bout of some psychotic rage and decided to murder this poor girl. Now, anyone worth their salt, anyone worth their crust, anyone with a brain that's even worth thinking about would know that children come first before fucking anything. You put your life on the line for your child. It's as simple as it's the way the human race has been for absolute centuries. You don't murder a child simply because you want to get into bed with the man whose father it is a little bit sooner. Sick and twisted minds. I cannot comprehend the way these people must think. They must see that little girl, see so much hatred towards her, not it. That's a terrible way to put it. And want to murder her and sexually abuse her at the same time. God only knows what that poor man must be going through at this present moment in time. He has lost his daughter, he must be distraught, and yeah, he has my utmost sympathies. Always make sure who you're going out with if you're a single parent, be it male or female. Yeah, you've really got to make sure that the person you are going with is okay around children. A lot of people now, single parents, jump at the chance of introducing their kids to their new boyfriend or their new girlfriend, and that's a very dangerous precedent. They are so desperate to have an opposite sex figure in the child's lives. That's what tends to be like, that they just throw them in straight at the deep end after a couple of years of dating, a couple of weeks even of dating, and that's the bad way to be about, I think. You shouldn't need to introduce your children into a new relationship if you're a single parent before 12 to 18 months. You've got to know the person you are going out with. You have to know how their mind works, and you can trust them 110% before you introduce children into that said relationship. At least that's my opinion anyway. So guys, yeah, that's my video. Do let me know what you think in comments. Do you think JD Vance is right for putting an ultimatum on this trade deal? And do you think I am correct with introducing children into a brand new relationship when it comes to single parents? Do let me know in comments, guys. I'd be interested to hear what you have to say. As always, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.